WAVE stands for West Africa Vocational Education. We are a youth-focused organization based in Nigeria that is looking to bridge the unemployment gap in Africa and in Nigeria. So we were established in 2013. So far, we have trained over 8,000 youths. We find them, underserved youths in particular, we find them, we train them, we find screen, train, match support. So that model is very important for us because it's not enough for us to just train the youths and they have this skill and then they're back sitting at home. We work with our employer partners. We have over 300 employer partners in our pool that we match these youths that we train to. When they're on the job, it's still not enough because, you need to keep on upskilling yourself. So there is the support, there's the workshop, we always say once a waiver, always a waiver. So any youth that walks through our doors, we still have a relationship with them over 10 years on.
It's amazing because if you look at the challenges that we are facing now, two of them. One is youth, and then you are working on youth.
Yes.
And the second is employment. RFSD this year is about job creation, is about employment. In the next World Summit on Social Development, which will be organized in Doha in November, it's about job creations, it's about employment, it's about how we can ensure that youth are not even left behind. Because if you look at what happened, for instance, in Copenhagen 30 years ago, the same issues are still on the youth employment, how we can ensure that youth are participating in everything. So I think there is a lot that we can do. And the initiative that you mentioned is really key. How do you think we can scale it up in not only in Nigeria, but also in Africa, because it's a real issue for Africa?
Yeah, scaling is actually very important, and that is one of our goals for this year. So we have covered southwest of Africa, southwest Nigeria, working with state government. So I think just like ask, how do we scale? Is partnering with government, the different stakeholders, partnering with employers in different regions, and even collaborating with, we're looking to enter into, we've touched Ghana, enter into Sierra Leone, the Gambia, is partnership with other like-minded organizations, state governments, federal governments, to say, we know that this is a problem. This is one of the SDG goals, and it is really important that as we approach 2030, we are inching closer to achieving the goal that is set. How do we collaborate better? WAVE has a goal of empowering 250,000 by 2028, and we know that we cannot do it by ourselves. So how do we partner with organizations? For example, how do we partner with the ECA to achieving that goal? So one way for us to scale is partnership, collaboration, countries coming together, organizations coming together, because we know that it's a collective problem. And the youths are really the leaders of tomorrow. They are the future. And once youths are empowered, begin to see maybe poverty eradication, you would see maybe less crime rates, because my background is criminology, and I know that if people are occupied, they tend to not dabble in crime. So youths being empowered and in jobs, in fulfilling jobs, in jobs that pay well, because you have unemployed and then you have the underemployed. We're increasingly seeing cases of graduates who are having to do blue-collar jobs. Yeah. So it is, how can people be in decent jobs? Goal number 8 here.
I think it's an interesting point. And then we at ECA, we are also supporting this change. We are trying to bring a new energy to the way that African countries are making them policies to ensure that there is real integration of youth, not only in decision or in policies, but also in data. Because as we used to say, if we don't have them, if we don't see them in our statistic, we will not see them in our policies. I think that's the main challenge that we are facing, and we should see how we can ensure that the disaggregated data is not only about gender, but also include all the different categories of the population that we have, and also see what kind of policies we can do now, what kind of things we can do differently, because we need really to think bold and go beyond just talking, and we really need action. And then the action will start by having you as one of our key partners.
Yeah, absolutely. WAVE will be very excited. I will be very excited to be one of the partners of the ECA. And I mean, it's good that we're having this conversation. This is just the start of, future partnership. You'd mentioned data. How can the data we collect, how can we, feed it to the ECA that would in turn help with these policies?
I think it should be through the national statistics systems, because ECA is supporting also the national statistics system to improve their capacity to find new ways, also to integrating different data coming from different sources, and also using artificial intelligence, because we don't need to have all the data right now. We have models that can help us to have really precise predictions on things, and finding a way to collect all the data coming from the different sources and using technology like artificial intelligence to process the data would be key in helping us to ensure that no one is left behind.